that be enough? And then the children would get plenty of support and nurturing and mentoring, and the world population would decline very rapidly, and everybody would be totally happy. Time sharing is a little further off in the future. And there's this great novel that Arthur Clarke wrote twice called Against the Fall of Night and The City and the Stars. They're both wonderful and largely the same, except that computers happened in between. And Arthur was looking at this old book and he said, well, that was wrong. The future must have some computers. So in the second version of it, there are 100 billion or 1,000 billion people on Earth, but they're all stored on hard disks or floppies or whatever they have in the future. And you let a few million of them out at a time. A person comes out, they live for 1,000 years doing whatever they do. And then when it's time to go back for 1 billion years, or billion, I forget, numbers don't matter. But there really aren't very many people on Earth at a time. And you get to think about yourself and your memories, and before you go back into suspension, you edit your memories and you change your personality and so forth. The plot of the book is that there's not enough diversity, so that the people who designed the city make sure that every now and then an entirely new person is created. And in the novel, a particular one named Alvin is created, and he says maybe this isn't the best way and wrecks the whole system. But I don't think the solutions that I've proposed are good enough or smart enough. I think the big problem is that we're not smart enough to understand which of the problems we're facing are good enough. Therefore, we have to build super intelligent machines like HAL. As you remember, at some point in the book for 2001, HAL realizes that the universe is too big and grand and profound for those really stupid astronauts. If you contrast HAL's behavior with the triviality of the people on the spaceship, you can see what's written between the lines. Well, what are we going to do about that? We could get smarter. I think that we're pretty smart as compared to chimpanzees, but we're not smart enough to deal with the colossal problems that we face, either in abstract mathematics or in figuring out economies or balancing the world around. So one thing we can do is live longer. And nobody knows how hard that is, but we'll probably find out in a few years. See, there's two forks in the road. We know that people live twice as long as chimpanzees almost. And nobody lives more than 120 years for reasons that aren't very well understood. But lots of people now live to 90 or 100 unless they shake hands too much or something like that. And so maybe if we live 200 years, we could accumulate enough skills and knowledge to solve some problems. So that's one way of going about it. And as I said, we don't know how hard that is. It might be, after all, most other mammals live half as long as the chimpanzee. So we're sort of 3.5 or 4 times, have 4 times the longevity of most mammals. And in the case of the primates, we have almost the same genes. We only differ from chimpanzees in the present state of knowledge, which is absolute hogwash, maybe by just a few hundred genes. What I think is that the gene counters don't know what they're doing yet, and whatever you do, don't read anything about genetics that's published within your lifetime or something. The stuff has a very short half-life.